Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. The last video I uploaded was an overnighter on my linear syndicate, and I'm back up here again, but I'm here for a couple of nights this time. I've gone on a different lake and I wanted to start this video with a fish, and it didn't take very long. In fact, it took probably all of 25 minutes. And here we've got a really spawned out upper 20, but look at that, how's that to get the session going? I'm on Unity this time. I've only actually fished on here twice before in the past. He's kicking off a little bit. Only fished on here twice before in the past. I'm in a peg called the dance floor. I don't do a lot of dancing, but hopefully those bobbins will be dancing. There we go. One last little look. We are underway here on Unity. Well, no sooner that I put that fish back, you can still see there my self-take station, minus the mat which I carried the fish back in with. I'm in again, but it's just in the weed, this one. So I'm just releasing the pressure ever so slightly, standing up here at the back of the swim in hope that it swims out of it. It is very, very weedy on here. I'm going to cover that in a bit more detail as we go on through the vlog. But what a good start. We've already had that mid-20 and we are in again. All I've got to hope now is I can get this one in. Absolutely mental. This one's out the weed now, it's just down here. Look at that, look, the other rod's going, there's nothing I can do. I'm hoping it just finds itself a little weed bed and just sits in it. I'll get this one in and then we'll get that one in. Mental. Chicken Oriental. Well, what a mental start to a vlog this is. 3 fish in probably an hour. I haven't even got any rods out. I've just got those 2 fish down there in the net that I've just had. I'm going to get those out, get them filmed, show you. And one of them's only small, but one of them is a decent fish. I'm going to spin it around. You've got to remember as well, they have spawned on here. It's early for them to spawn, you know. This time last year, excuse me, I was on Gaunt, which is the lake next door, and they hadn't spawned on there, whereas now they've had a good spawn already. So if I get a few bites, there's a good chance I might get a good one, but spawned right out. And this one down here now, sorry to take my focus, I'm just kicking the net out of the way, is a decent fish. Have a look at this. Look at that bad boy. Bearing in mind that one next to it there's probably about 16 pounds, 15, 16 pound. That other one is a bit of a, as old Mick Brown and Matt Hayes used to say, a bit of a donkey on the quiet. But lovely fish. Lovely crusty back on it, as they say. Look at that. Yeah, I'm going to get these out now. I'm going to show you them. And then once we're restored a bit of normality back into the peg, I'm going to run you through what I'm doing, which isn't a lot different to what I normally do, because what I normally do, I'm so confident in it that it works. But yeah, we're here having another go with vlogging. I'm just going to put this smaller one back, I think. I'll go have you a little look at him on the side. Oh, my hand's getting wet. Where is he? There he is. I don't know, he's probably 15, 16 pounds, something like that. But I'm going to slip him back. I'm going to get that one out because that is a good fish, let me tell you. Absolute chaos. I said he was bigger, and like I say, they've had a good spawn out, but if this one hadn't spawned, easily been a mid-30, 32 pound. We'll take him, have a look. Oh. Lively. Come on. Proper old bruiser of a mirror carp. Lovely looking fish in here, gin clear water, really, really weedy. Oh. Proper solid head he has. Is it going to behave? Come on. You know when they're going to tense up, you ever get that? There we go. 32 pound of active Unity mirror carp. Well, it's clear they're out there on the dance floor, so I want to get you this one shown. Obviously I'll put the smaller one back. We've already started with that fish. Definitely more out there to be had. There we go. A proper solid 32 pound mirror carp. That'll do for me. Spiffing. Go back to the other side, show you what we're dealing with here. There's a couple of ghosties in here. I'd really like to catch one of them. Biggest in is over 40 pound. And he's active. There we go. There's the other side. Hopefully it carries on. Right, Tubby Tom's technical tip time now. Not really a tip because you've seen these rigs so many times before, but this is what I'm going in with. We've got the famous crank spinners, and that again is the new test bait on there from Sticky. They're a 12mm pop-up, mega buoyant these are. A little bit of corn on top of two of them, one on a plain pop-up. There's the pot of them there. About to put the light on the camera because it's got quite dark quite quickly. Yeah, but that is exactly what I'm using. Well, it's exactly twice what I used when I was on Gaunt last week, and they're the same booms, and you can even see there that hook bead, it's still got life in it, but that's been on there a long time. In fact, that's probably been on there since I was at Gigantica, which is a good few weeks ago now, because I was fishing barbless hooks on there. So obviously you don't need to constantly chop and change the hook beads because you're pulling them over a barbless hook, whereas if you're pulling them over a barb like what I'm using here, obviously over time it opens the bore up inside of those hook beads. They're the high grip ones there, so obviously if you're flicking out, they're not moving, so wherever you set that is exactly where they will be when it lands. And then here's my booms, relatively short, probably 9 or 10 inches. As you can see, they're not straightened out. I don't straighten everything out. I'm run it through my fingers, that'll do. And yeah, something I see Daryl talking about a few years ago that I've just started doing is cutting the anti-tangle sleeves right down. Obviously that there is going to hook on to your quick change swivel there on your hybrid leg clip, but just pulling that over enough so it gives it a little bit of stiffness there. I'm going to show you what I mean in a minute, but what Daryl was saying on a video was when the lead goes in, was to say that anti-tangle sleeve don't stick up, which is absolutely right, you know. And I've done this on my syndicate, on Gigantica, and I'm doing it here now. Has it made a difference? I don't know, but it's like, again, he always says, it's all the small little percentages that make the biggest differences. So there's the rigs. I'm going to get them back out there. Those 2 fish are safely returned. We're 3 fish to the good, and we're about an hour and a half into the session. And here you go, that's what I mean by that. So it's just covering the quick change swivel, but at the same time it's not allowing that hook link to sort of fold back on itself with ease. It's still giving it a little bit, well, it's giving quite a lot of anti-tangle properties. Obviously if I was to pull that right up and sort of expose the, where are we, the bottom part there of the quick change swivel, then the rig could obviously sit parallel with the lead clip when you're casting. So it's still got a bit of movement so it can kick it away, but at the same time it's got enough there that if that goes in the silt, that's not going to sit up high. I mean, I might be completely barking up the wrong tree, but these are just the little thought processes that go through my mind, so it's good to pass it on to all of you lovely people. Yeah, we've got the hybrid leg clip, oh, there, got a 4 ounce lead, and then what I've done is I've got 60-pound snag leader, about 6 feet of that, and then up there we've got a little bit of putty, see, yeah, a bit of putty, and obviously that there is then sub braid. Excuse the state of the bivvy, it's a bit of a mess, we've still not got everything set up fully yet. And then we've got the sub braid on there, that's all clipped ready to rock and roll, and that is massively vital, especially where I'm fishing now, because I'm fishing in quite thick weed or around thick weed. If I was fishing with mono, I'm not saying I wouldn't have landed them 3 fish, but with braid it's just a damn sight lot easier. And I know you can see that little logo there peering through in the corner of your screens. Get on the greens, it's in your screen. Bit of an evening update now. I had 2 more, but again my phone messed up, so I'm going to include a picture probably after this. A really nice scaly 24 pounder, and the other one I caught was 21 pound, so that's now 5 fish on the board. And I'm looking out at motionless rods, so I'm going to bring them in, I'm going to re-chuck them again. I always like to re-chuck them, especially when it's weedy, you know, because even though the spot I'm fishing's clear, there could be bits of weed that's sort of gone over the rigs, and it could be hindering how they're sitting in the presentation. It's no hardship to bring them in. I'm fishing 22 rod lengths, a nice easy chuck. I'm going to put 3 rods back out on the spot, another half a bucket of bait, and I'm going to cook myself a nice healthy dinner. But yeah, so far everything is shaping up to be a good session. 5 bites, up to over 30 pound, including some really nice scaly carp. What more can you want? Hopefully it carries on. That's the rods back out there and baited up. Matey over there, he had one as well not long ago. It's now tea time for me. Look at me going all healthy. Got my tomatoes, my tender stem, and I've got this sea bass. Absolutely love sea bass. I have started eating a lot healthier on the bank, and I'm feeling better for it. I've lost over a stone. I know it's since Christmas, but I've lost it gradually, and I've not done any additional exercise really. I've just cut out, sort of not eating as much bread, try not to drink as much fizzy drink, excuse me, and not having as much chocolate, which I'll be honest, I was the world's worst for. See, I'm definitely feeling a lot better. I'm not going to start coming on here and doing personal training sessions, but I'm definitely feeling better for it. So I'm eating well, the carp are eating well. I'm hoping nothing disturbs me whilst I'm having my tea, but I'm really going to try this trick. You know, there's a couple of big ghosties in here and I'd love to catch one of those. And there's also a lot of other nice carp in here as well, so you just never know what that next bite could be. And because I've only done 2 sessions on here before, it's not like I've caught a lot of fish out of this. Every fish that I'm catching are carp that I've never caught before, so exciting times. I've literally just finished my dinner. You know what I said earlier on about there being a couple... God, that's me strawberry yoghurt. You know what I said earlier about there being ghosties in, and I'd really love to catch a ghostie. I ain't going to Adam and Eve it. Look at that bad boy. Only gone and caught one, ain't I? I don't know how big it is, but it's absolutely awesome. Look at the colours on that. The light is fading, so we're going to get him out and have a little look. Oh, Ghostbuster. I'm absolutely buzzing. Probably somewhere in the region 22 to 25 pound. Well spawned out. When I saw it out in the lake, I could just see like flashes of like white and orange, and got like a proper bull nose on him as well. But they go to like 42, 43 pound in here. I think the fish is called sumo. Quite apt for me, wouldn't it really? I don't know if anyone else has found this, but with ghosties, they're such angry fish. It just shows, doesn't it, that they love bait raining down over them. It's worth noting as well, it's only shallow where I'm fishing. The whole lake's only like 6 foot deep. God, it's kicking right off. I'll show you in a minute when it starts to behave. Look at that. How cool is he? A Unity ghostie. Oh, he's active. I'm going to show you the other side. Oh, I love it, I do. Absolutely love it. Always like to set myself mini challenges. And I think that's challenge complete on the first day. I've still got, I can stay 3 nights if I want. I've still got 3 nights really. Oh, calm down. We'll see how it goes. Oh, he's lovely. Come on, let's have a little look at this side. I feel like getting on my knees here, all big carp and that. Absolutely nailed he was. There we go. Look at that. One of Unity's ghosty commons. Beauty. If you're wondering why I'm crouched down a little bit weird, I've got you resting on a bucket. Cool though, isn't he? Right, we're slipping back. Rod back out, more bait. We're going to catch the big one. It's just got dark. We've got a bobbin missing. And we've got another carp in the net. This is unbelievable. That is carp number 7. And this is what's known as a fully scaled. Look at that. Not massive. Mid-upper double. Not going to stress him out. I'm just going to unhook him in the net. I'm going to pop him straight back. But look at that. This is absolute carnage. Average size is a little bit smaller than probably what it would be on gaunts, but they have just spawned heavily in here. But there is still some real nice carp in here, so if you're getting bites like this, you cannot complain. Well, day turned into night, and then night turned into day very quickly. Nothing through the night, which at my age is good. Not that I'm that old, but it's nice not to catch anything at night because you can get a good night's kip, and hopefully the day is a good day. And the day is a very good day, because if I turn you round, you'll see down there we've got another fish. Rods are in. Well, 2 rods are in, so I'll bloody wipe one of them out. And we've got another carp. The sun is shining, but it's not going to be shining for long. We've got another carp. He's not massive. I don't know. Mid-upper double. Where is he? He's in there. There we go. Just going to let him go. I don't want to keep him for any unnecessary reason. There he goes. Another Unity mirror. I don't know. Well, maybe it's a little bit bigger than what I thought. Upper double. Low 20. He's off. Let's get these rods back out and let's get this day underway. I said the sun wouldn't last long, and it hasn't. Here comes the rain. I've just been to the shops. I needed a gas bottle and also needed to have a pony as well. I'm just making up my bait. So in here, I mean, I talk about my bait in a lot of my videos and it never ever changes because it works. I'm just going to talk you through a couple of little key elements. So we've got hemp. Use the code TOM10 over at Kemp Particles to save yourself 10% on all particles over on their website. That's my little sales pitch. Sweet corn, and then we got, this is the new test bait from Sticky, which is absolutely bang on. And what I've done with this, I've just pushed them and sort of halved them in the mix. And then we've got 2 ingredients here that I only add sort of as I'm spodding. So that's enough there to make a mix up. But obviously, as that's sitting there like that, I don't want to add the pellets. The reason why I don't want to add the pellets until I'm just about to start spomming is because these draw moisture at a rate of knots. They draw more moisture than a dehumidifier. And if you put those in the mix now and leave that in the bucket, what that does is it draws all the moisture out of the sweet corn and also the hemp. And when you spom it out, it ends up floating. So I tip these in just as I'm about to start spomming. And then bad boys, I'm sure you all know what the white bag is. Not that white bag, this white bag. That is worms. So these are from Perky Worms. Again, use the code PerkyTom to save yourself 10% over on the Perky Baits website. I'll take a good handful of those out, chop them up, add them fresh to the mix. As I spod, I put them in fresh. So I chop up 10 or handful to make 10 spoms, which that's about 15 spoms in there. Make a mix up, spod it out, clean the bucket out, go again. But like I say, the key things to take away from this is, if you put pellets in with your mix, it will dry it out. If you put chopped worm in with your mix and you don't put it out instantly, what is a fantastic amino fish attractant will be a repellent. So you have to use them fresh, and you don't have to put, you have to use them fresh. You don't have to put those in as you're making the mix up. You can choose to do it when you've made the mix up. It's entirely up to you, but what I'm saying to you is always chuck it a bit in the margin and you'll see how much of it floats. Like I say, these proper draw the moisture. So I'm going to get my 3 rigs back out, which are up here, ready to rock and roll. Back out in the zone, and hopefully we can put a few more carps on the bank. Rods went back out there bang on, bait over the top. Now it's time for my breakfast. I'm going to spin it around and show you a detailed picture of my breakfast. Look at that, a couple of toasted bagels, scrambled egg, and a bit of the old salmon. Like I say, I'm trying to eat a bit healthier. Normally the old me would be coffee, pack of biscuits. That's about as much bread as I really want as well, but I've got the thin bagels, you know, the really, really thin ones. Looks nice though, doesn't it? Apart from that hair there, which is pretty unhygienic, we'll remove that. Fisherman's breakfast. Come on the rods. Well, it hasn't taken long, and we've not got one, we've got 2. Now that one on the right is a common, which is quite a size. Don't know how big it is, but the one on the left is a definite 20. So that one on the right, I'm guessing, is another 30 pounder. This is crazy. That's number 9 and number 10 now. When it calms down. So I've had 4 now. Got another common, well, the big common that I've had. This one, another one that I put back, and I just had another one. But this one's a really nice, proper old, dark mirror. Look at that. Probably a low, upper double, low 20. Oh, if he behaves, they're so active. There you go, one little look at him. Right, I'm going to slip him back and we'll get the big common out. Lovely. Well, I said this one was bigger, and he's the biggest of the trip so far. A proper solid 34 pound Unity common carp. Look at that. I should imagine before it spawned it was a bit bigger than that, but how is that for a common? Lovely. I'm gonna get a few pictures, put him back, and I'll get the other one out to show you. Well, I'm not gonna get this one out. I thought it was a bit bigger than what it is. Probably 21, 22 pound. Like I say, they've not long, well, they spawned about 3 weeks ago, but I don't want to keep them and get them out when I don't really need to. There we go. What a great bit of sport this is turning out to be. I'm finally sitting down, chilling after that hectic period. So since I come back from the shop, I've had the 4 fish, had that really nice linear, the 34 common. I put one back, a small one that I didn't film, and then I put that sort of low 20, 22, 23 pounder back. Just got that rod back out, put some bait over the top, and I have had a liner. Now, where I'm fishing is about 6 feet deep, really, really clear, surrounded by dense weed. Fishing with braid is obviously a massive edge because I know exactly when I'm fishing on the real clear spot, because the transmission through that tip down that braid from the lead is unbelievable. So I know when I'm fishing bang on the spot. And I think that's something that I've come to learn. You know, we're always learning as anglers, aren't we? But over the years of fishing with mono, you don't realise how inaccurate you are until you fish with braid. Obviously, I'm spodding with braid, fishing with braid, there's zero stretch. So exactly where I'm clipping them up to is where they're landing. Now, if I was fishing with mono, yes, I would still be able to fish accurately, but would I be able to fish as accurately as what I can with a braid? And I think the answer to that is a no. Like I say, it transmits down the rod so much better. And I speak to a lot of people on a weekly basis, and you know, they say, oh, I found a really nice clear spot with my marker rod, but I can't seem to get the same drop with my mono. Now that's something you're never going to do. You're never going to feel the same drop with a mono as what you are with braid. And with it being as weedy, oh, kingfisher, and with it being as weedy as what it is on here, definitely fishing with the braid is not only a big edge for helping me to fish in the clear spots, but also for getting the fish out. When you've got mono, it's like a big elastic band and you're sort of pulling, you know, you're taking all the stretch out the mono, and in reality, you're not putting a lot of pressure on the fish. With braid, you can sort of wind down, nice bit of steady pressure, and you can almost feel the roots of the weed ripping up, you know, and you're ripping it out the bottom, and then you're getting the fish in with absolutely no problem at all. The only issue I've had is because it's obviously a heavy sinking braid, it's going over the top of the weed, and when I'm getting bites, if the fish are kiting, I have had a couple of problems where I've caught my other line, which isn't ideal, but we haven't had any major disasters just yet. Still putting the bait in after each fish. I just put another 5 out after that bite there. Making up small amounts of bait every time, and that, again, it always feels like I'm doing something when I'm fishing, but I like that, you know, making the bait up fresh every time. You sort of feel in tune, you know how much you're making up, you're keeping the quantities the same, you're feeding the same. You know, once I've got an area going, people always say, how do you know how much bait to put out? The answer is you don't really. Every session is different, and it's sort of a bit of trial and error for the first couple of bites. It seems like 5 is the perfect amount after each fish. It's shallow where I'm fishing. I'm using a big spom. Now, a big spom in shallow water, the bait's probably not spreading that far, so I'm not fishing as tight as what I would be if it was a deeper lake. You know, when I was out at Gigantica, I was trying to fish as tight as what I could do. Here, I'm sort of spreading them a bit, because you imagine that bait's not sort of dispersing very far from where the spom's landing. Yeah, and that's just sort of bringing everybody up to speed. So I think it's 12 fish now, maybe 13 fish. Far better than I could ever expected. And there is a few of those big ghosties in here lurking around. And I have seen the odd one show. You sort of see, you're looking at like these sort of real dark black mirrors and common show, and then all of a sudden a real pale, almost white colour head just appears out of nowhere. So they're definitely in the zone. I've already caught one of them, which is really good, but it'd be nice to catch one not twice the size of the one I caught, because there's not one in there that's 50 pound, but to be nice to catch one sort of a mid-30, because there's definitely a few of those in here. But I don't want to be too greedy, don't want to ask too much. I have actually got to pack up first thing in the morning now, because when we shot the video for Gigantica, we do the voiceovers, and to do the voiceovers properly, I've got to travel down to Essex, down to Korda HQ, meet up with Kai, some of the other lads there, and film the voiceovers in the studio. And it sort of breaks the journey up, really, because I'm in Oxford now, so it's only a couple of hours sort of further east from here, if you like. And it means that that video is done and out, which could be out around the time this drops, I suppose. But that was a phenomenal trip, but I don't want to say too much. You're just going to have to wait and see. But that's going to go on the Korda YouTube channel, which is really cool. I'm going to stop rambling on, because I can imagine you're all bored. And hopefully I'll see you when there's another bite. Nothing else to update, and I'm kind of hoping that nothing happens now. Look at that. That is absolutely lashing it down out there. Strong wind as well from behind. Obviously makes the casting and spomming a lot easier, although I'm only fishing at 88 yards, so it's not like I've got to cast to the other side of the earth. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that nothing happens now, but this rain is due to stop in a little bit. And fingers crossed, once it stops, all that fresh oxygen out in the water, they sort of get their heads down again and have a munch. I mean, already it's been super hectic. I mean, this is the sort of action that, you know, I would expect out of maybe the day ticket lakes. You know, these syndicates, they have got a good stock of carp in here, but I fish them exactly the same, you know, and that's a question I get asked as well, like, how would you approach a syndicate? Well, if you're confident with a method, you have to just go in with that method all the time, at least as a starting point anyway. And it's worked on Gaunt, which is to my right as I look out from this peg here, the last lake down on the complex, and it works here on Unity as well. I've not fished Yeoman's just yet, but I'm going to have a go on there in the future. But for now, one of them big ghosties out here would be absolutely spot on. Look at that, that is chucking it down. Little spud rod there, looking pretty. Little brew station. Smashed in some Lidl's brownies that you get from the bakery. They're so nice. Coffee down there. We've got all the tackle station there ready to rock and roll. Cheeky pack of hobnobs. I know I'm trying to eat healthier, but you can't pass up on an opportunity to have a hobnob. Oh, I don't know what to say. It's almost like I've scripted this trip. I'm in the old cax. I've had to strip off. I think I've got one of the big ghosties. Well, in fact, I know I've got one of them. I just don't know what one it is. It's mad carnage. I've just had a double take. It was the first one I was playing in, and it got stuck in this tree here. See it about there, that tree? And I see it was a big wide ghosty, so I just whipped the trousers off, took the socks off, just ploughed straight in and scooped it up. Luckily enough, it was all balled up in the weed. Don't know what to say. Have a look, there's a bit of carnage in the old peg. Look at that, carnage everywhere. It's in there. I'm going to show you it now. I'm going to put the smaller one back at the front. It's probably another low 20. And I'll show you that bad boy. I don't believe it. I'm shaking. Look at that bad boy. It's well spawned out. But look at that. How wide it is. I don't believe it. I'm going to go get the mate from next door to give me a hand. I need an excited poo. Look at that. That is incredible. Oh, talk about a dream come true. Got a whip across its back. Well, I don't quite know what to say. I've weighed it, 40 pounds, 10 ounces, which is my new personal best ghostie. Like I say, it's almost like I scripted it, because I said, didn't I, from the beginning, that there's big ghosties in here, and I'd love to catch one. The wind's ripping through. Look at that. For a ghostie. How cool is that? A proper Unity unit, that one. A new personal best. Oh, it's just been an amazing year. I just can't even put it into words. How cool is that? It is such a wide fish. I'll show you the other side. Get a few pickies. And whilst this one was in the net, obviously I had the other one that I put back. The one rod that I had left out there has also gone. Carnage. Carnage. Look at that. What a carp. Just look at that. Lovely times. Well, things seems to have quietened off a little bit. I had, I'll try and put a picture up. I don't really know how to put a picture inside a video whilst I'm talking. A fully scaled, sort of 22, 23 pound. Nice fish, but it was kicking off on the mat, so I had a couple of quick pictures. I didn't want to video it. But the rods are back out there. Obviously, it's just getting dark now. As you can see, I've got my head torch on, ready to rock and roll. I've just put another 15 spoms of bait out. There's a lot of fish showing to me right. And what's mad is when I fished on my syndicate a few weeks back from my campaign in April, when I caught the big un, it just died. The spot just went completely quiet. Done a night, didn't get anything else. Ah, mosquito. Didn't get anything else. I've had that big ghostie, which died a death. I've had a couple of fish since then. Whereas this time yesterday, it was absolutely rocking. I just wonder sometimes, you know, if there's something in it where the big uns are a bit like go in and investigate the spot almost towards the end of of that spot being prolific, and they sort of tell the other fish, you know, don't go anywhere near it now. Like, I've been caught off of it, stay away. Because there's a lot of fish showing to me right, but it's like they're just not venturing over to me. But that bite that I've managed to film, it's taken me 2 days, yesterday and today, to get that, because every time I've been recording, I stop the recording, go on my phone to do something, and then it rips off. So it's nice to actually get a bite, albeit from a bit of a funny angle, but we got one. But yeah, absolutely zero complaints so far. 19 fish now and lost one. Far better than I could have ever expected. Obviously, I've not included every single fish in this video because it would just be fish, and it would just look a bit too much. But incredible session. And even though I've got to pack up early tomorrow and head down to Korda, I cannot wait to return here. But what I'm going to do is when I pack up and go down to Korda, I might see if I can get a bit of permission to film inside the office, to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes of what it's like. And also I've got to do voiceover so I can show you a little bit about the setup as well. Hopefully, if they let me. Not that I've got to sign an NDA or anything like that, but it'd be nice to show all of you lovely people what it's like behind the doors at Korda, because it's amazing. Let me tell you, it's a phenomenal place. It's huge, absolutely massive. And obviously it's all a great bunch of guys and girls work down there as well. So I'm going to stop rambling on. I'm going to try and get myself half hour's kip, bit of a snooze, and then Mrs finishes work at 10ish. So I'll give her a call on the way back, because I'm good like that, see. But yeah, 19 fish, unbelievable. Like I said tonight, I was going to give it a go at night, put a bit more bait out. I say just before dark. It's just ripped off. Got a common here. It's only third common of the trip. They're so spawned out. You'll see now when I try and lift them up. But 25, 26 pound again. It's like proper racing snakes they are. It's got the width of like easily a sort of 28, 30 pounder. They're just so empty. Wish I lost this much weight after I'd spawned. Look at that. Quite long old thing. But it's a first, well, I say it's my first bite properly in darkness. So I've just got that rod back out, topped it back up. Hopefully a few more. Yeah, that'll do though, won't it? That'll do. Hopefully it's all in. Can't really see what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at a bright light and 3 little lenses. Lovely. Well, it's just gone 7:30 in the morning. As you can see behind, I'm starting to pack away. Nothing else through the night, and it looks like we are ending our session with carp number 21. Incredible. There he is. Really nice chocolatey brown common carp. Not huge, but really, really nice looking fish. I'm going to get him unhooked. Leave the other 2 rods out for 20 minutes, half hour while the net dries out. But other than that, next stop, Korda HQ.